didn't mean physical freedom, because as you see right there, they were free. They might have not been physically free. Their bodies may have been tortured and brutalized and killed. But their neshamas were free. They didn't have any connection to the physical. They didn't need it. They weren't out there the next day, oh, now I got to go and try to fill up my bank account. They realized, they came to the point where, what are we? What are we doing? That's joy. That's how they were able to sing the Haggadah and Hallel in the camps. Because if not, it would be impossible. How can you sing Hallel in the camps? It's impossible. Only if you realize that you're actually free. It's at that moment that they realized they were free. We don't want to go through that. We say it. We express over the ideas of the Haggadah to our children. I'll tell you the last story, and we'll end with this. There was in another camp, there was a Rebbe and his Hasidim, and they procured matzah. I don't remember if this was the story. There was another. I don't know if this was related, but the only way that they could get the grain in this place was that there was a Polish worker on the outside who was willing to sell it to them. But you have money. It's in the camp. So in the camps, they had gotten two things. They got a bowl and a spoon. That was their life support. That was their lifeline. And so one Jew decided, he took the spoon, put it on the train tracks, and split the spoon in half. He then sharpened the spoon and began to pluck out all his gold teeth. Oh. And all of the rest of the Jews in that spot also decided that it's worth that, and they started to pluck out their gold teeth, and they bought the matzah. They bought the flour. Now it wasn't a lot of flour, and so they had to decide who was going to eat the matzah. Who was going to eat the matzah? So everyone said, the Rebbe, see them, got to eat the matzah. So there was one widow. She came up and said, no. The Rebbe and his Bachram should not eat the matzah. Who should eat the matzah? Children. That's the story of Pesach. It's to instill in the children the idea that there is a tomorrow. We're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. That's the story of the Haggadah. That's why you're going to start saying Magid. But right after Magid, the point of Magid is not just to say it. It's to get to a level in your heart and your mind to start reading Hallel. Because that's what comes right after it. Hallel. How can you say Hallel? How can you say the Hallel? How can you start how can you start to jump in joy? First of all, we know that what we're going to talk about the Magid is not a very pleasant thing. We're going to talk about some of the tortures, but we're also going to talk about the saving. We're going to talk about the saving, because in the Shoah, they didn't know if they were going to be tomorrow. We have the ability today to tell them that there was a tomorrow. There was a tomorrow because there's Jews in Tafshin Ayin Daled that are sitting in Lower Merion and everywhere else and doing a Leil Seder. They couldn't imagine that such a thing would happen. Would it be possible? Would anybody be left? Magid. Do you know who you're telling that on the Leil Seder night? You're telling those nishamot upstairs. You're telling those nishamot, guys, you didn't go for nothing. When you went, your sacrifice, they were Korban Pesach. We only say Pesach, Maror, Matzah. They were Korban Pesach. When we look at the Korban Pesach and we're going to see the shank bone, don't remember the bitterness. I'm not telling you this to remember the bitterness. Remember, look at the joy that we have to have, the appreciation that we're here. That's Magid. Magid is all about to get to a level of appreciation, to get to a level of understanding, to appreciate. Shelo asani goy, shelo asani aved. You're blessing the fact that you are a Jew. You're blessing the fact that you are, Baruch Hashem, we're Jews that we're Shomer. We know we're having a Seder. Kalacha, we're doing it the right way. That should, if that doesn't stop a person from speaking, I don't know what will. So, Be'ezrat Hashem, again, speak Divrei Torah, speak those things, like I said, and we'll next week we'll go through the rest of the Ramazim. Next week we'll be more upbeat. Be'ezrat Hashem.
Thank you.
Back again.